Hello, everybody. Welcome. We have DuoQueue podcast, Esports podcast. I'm Chelmai Bado-san,
I'm
my
Graylich.
co-host, Graylich, as always. He's the constant co-host.
The constant co-host to the host.
I mean, co-hosts. We're co-hosts.
I guess, yes, but
You hopefully talk as much as I talk. I don't want to talk. Anyway,
but yeah,
a
been
lot of stuff has happened.
yeah, very crazy update happened that we are going to
Mm-hmm.
discuss a lot more in depth, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. In
I'm
fact,
sh-
the title of the podcast is "Did the LCS Explode?" So,
I can answer that question for you right now. Podcast over. Yes.
yes. Well, should we just hop into it?
Yeah.
Since we're already
Yeah.
going, let's just go for it. All right.
Nothing important happened in our lives, just
No,
this.
walk me through this mess of a merger here.
So I mean, essentially they're reformatting the Americas into one league, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So no more LCS.
I mean,
Uh,
it's essentially
I
two
guess
leagues if you think about it. It's just
it's two leagues, but like even here, it's a North Conference and a South Conference.
yeah,
And
yeah.
when they're sending people to international events, it's uh, I mean, if you look at the for Worlds, it's going to be at least one from both, but then the third one, because there's three total, the third one will be from anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So it's essentially one league at this point. And so NA has finally completed its transition into a minor region.
Or the way that they're phrasing this, there are now 5 major regions, and
Yeah, we all know
we're
that's bullcrap.
we're pulling CB LoL up as a major.
We all know that's bull.
That is bullcrap.
So that means two of the quote unquote major regions is the Americas
Mm-hmm.
and what is it, South Asian?
Yeah, it's the
Or
Americas, Asia Pacific. I think it's APAC is what they're calling it.
okay, yeah, so
APAC.
APAC.
Americas doesn't have a name yet, but so what I'm assuming is it's going to be. And this is my opinion. There's no any kind of evidence or proof behind this, but what I would assume is that North Conference is probably going to be called the LCS, and then I would probably say
Oh,
the CB LoL is going to be the South
CBO.
Conference. Yeah. That way they keep the names, so that way they can be like, oh, the LCS didn't die.
Yeah, but
Yeah. No,
yeah.
I have a little more. I've watched a couple of streams about this with some streamers,
Hmm.
so a little more insight and opinion on it. And a pretty common thread that I've seen is it's good and bad for both leagues. Great for the LLA because
Oh yeah.
they lose a lot of teams, but they also get bumped up pretty quickly. Um, but for North America, sucks that we're losing two more teams,
Yeah. Two
and
more teams.
right, and sucks that we're basically losing an MSI spot because we had two, now we're going to one because top team from each conference goes to MSI, and then we're
Hmm.
also losing a world spot because we had 3 teams, and now we only have
Well,
two at the most. Because
well, I mean, even at the last couple of at the last couple of worlds, we've been almost sending four teams,
right, yeah.
and so I mean, honestly, we're losing
Well, we
two,
only sent
at
three.
least
We only
two
sent three to
world
worlds.
spots. Oh, okay. I mean, this last year, 2023, we only technically sent three because our fourth seed played their
Right,
LEC's fourth
right.
seed, and technically wasn't Worlds, but kind of was Worlds.
And technically, to MSI, we only sent one team because FlyQuest got knocked out in the play-in. So
Yes.
womp womp.
So
So basically, we're
technically,
not losing anything.
we're not losing anything.
No, but so that's the North American side. Well, and there's a lot of CB LoL viewership, so that's the positive. That's
Yeah.
what we get. And the way that this was all streamer opinion. This was the main person I heard this from was I Will Dominate.
Uh-huh.
And saying that now that we have the Americas League, you can go to sponsors and say, hey, look, our Americas League is getting this amount of viewership. So it's easier to get sponsors when you're basically doubling the viewership with the CB LoL. Does that make sense?
I mean, I can see that, but also the fact that we're split between the two conferences means that honestly we're not going to get as much traffic as you would think.
But you can also phrase it in a way that's different because, like, if let's say you own a business, right? Even let's say like it's an international business, right? You own a car company, like Honda or something, and I go to you and I say, hey, look, LCS, this North American League, is getting 50,000 viewers a stream. Would you like to sponsor that? Now you're probably thinking, okay, I'm gonna get maybe what 5% of that, if that, right, as revenue. So that's not great. But if I go to you and I say, hey, look, this Brazilian league is averaging 150,000 viewers a stream, still probably not great because you're probably like, okay, it's Brazilians.
It's Brazil. I don't have anything in Brazil. There's no point for
Right,
that.
or even if you
But
do,
then you
like
just say
if
it's
you're
the Americas
Honda,
League.
you're a big worldwide company, you probably do, but you're like, okay, a North American viewer with a lot more income is worth more to me than a Brazilian viewer. Right.
Yeah.
But now if I
disposable
can
income.
go to you and say, hey, look, our Americas League, you think America, all right? Well, what's the
And
first
that's
country that's
pulling
gonna
in
pop in your mind?
200.
Exactly. So I'm like, what's the first country that's gonna pop in your mind? America. So then you're like, oh, 200,000 for this Americas League. Now I'm not gonna tell you that 150 of those are Brazilian. You're just gonna
75% is not in America,
right.
but
It's in South America. But I could see how like this kind of rebranding almost makes it seem more lucrative to sponsors. I thought that was an interesting take from.
it's an interesting take. It's just it feels so bad.
No.
And I mean losing more teams really sucks.
True.
Because we just lost 2 this year, losing another 2.
Mm-hmm.
And
No, it definitely sucks. Like, it's especially for you because I have a feeling Immortals is not gonna make the 16 cut.
I mean, we can.
They could be the guest team. I do. The big positive we got to take away from this promotion relegation, at least a hint of
At least
promotion
there's a
relegation.
little bit of
That's
promotion,
freaking awesome.
not
Yes.
relegation. Promotion.
It's relegation. Each year they have a chance to lose that spot.
The guest team.
Yep. Yep.
That's just the guest team.
That's just the guest team, and they said
So the 6 teams are still locked in.
yes,
so,
but they said eventually down the road they want to add more promotion relegation through all leagues.
Okay.
So that's a big positive.
I think that's a great move. It's just I don't think we can say there's really relegation in this. Because it's not relegation, it's just promotion.
Right.
Because you have that one team, they can get up in there and like, yes, they can lose that spot and go back down, but they're the only ones that can.
Yeah, yeah. Right, but I think
We're not
the
taking
plan
our
is to
last
expand that.
2.
The plan is to expand that.
Yeah.
Now, coming from the Brazilian side, Brazil has a super loyal fan base. I don't know if you've heard about their fan base.
They are
from what I understand too is
fantastic.
It's not very top heavy. Like it's pretty spread out.
Split.
It's pretty split. So that really sucks for them that they're losing. I think they have 10 teams. So I think they're losing 4.
believe you
Actually,
are
no. I think they have
correct
8. I think they
there.
have 8. I think they have 8. I might have to start watching some CB LOL though. But just nope. They have
I
10. They have 10.
That's what I thought. Yeah, they got 10 teams, and so they're losing 4 teams.
They're losing 4 teams, which really sucks. And from what I understand, like they do not care. Like the way that I view this is if they want to be competitive, then they're gonna have to up, their play imports, their domestic play, like playing
Mhm.
against like CB LOL. From what I've seen at Worlds, are really good mechanical players a lot of the time. It's when they get into the macro side of things.
Yeah,
Oh gosh, it's
they just
awful.
seem
It's so
lost.
bad. Which to me,
I feel like
North
that's
America
a
has the opposite
common
problem.
thing.
North America to me has the awesome opposite problem. We have terrible individual players. Like skill wise, most of them are not great. But our macro is usually pretty like we make pretty decent
I
plays. We're in good spots. Like
uh,
now do we
just
execute on those plays? That's a different story. But usually
that's a
we're in a
different
spot.
story. But I mean, if we're looking at this last tournament, Team Liquid, as much as I know you hate Team Liquid,
I'll give them
they
their
have
props. They did
really good macro.
really freaking good macro.
Like
And to me, they're not even the best
they
macro
made
team in the
smart
league.
choices. It was impressive,
Yeah.
and
So
I mean,
that's
it
where
still got blown out of the water. But
that's where I think it'll really help the CB LOL because they're gonna have to elevate their macro play. They got the talented players. Now they're gonna have to elevate their macro play. So when they go against the North Conference, so I think that'll be really good. But from what I've heard on Twitter, I don't know if you've been on Twitter and seen the absolute hate that this is getting from Brazilian fans.
I am not.
It's pretty bad. Like it's turned
Doesn't
pretty
surprise me.
nasty. Um, they do not care about worlds or international performance at all. Like they could give zero cares about it. So I think that's why they don't care. Because to me, I look at this, I'm like, okay, CB LOL is just gonna get better internationally, but they don't care. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, if you look at it, it's just expectations. They only ever sent one team to Worlds,
yeah,
and a good year going to Worlds, they take maybe a game off of the top region.
right, exactly,
One of the 4 major regions, if you took a game off of that, that is a fantastic year at Worlds.
right, exactly. So I'm like, that's their expectation. Where if we don't make it into the bracket stage of
If
worlds, that's a disappointment. Like that's
if
completely
none
different
of our teams make it
expectations.
out of groups, that's
That's
a
completely
disappointing year.
different expectations. Like
Yeah.
so that's why I'm like that'll be an interesting partnership there. And I feel really bad for this. Hopefully they get a good LLA team because they might get dog walked in the North
That
Conference.
one I am concerned about for that one. We'll have to see how it goes.
I mean, there's some decent LLA teams. Like
No,
if
yeah,
like
there's
an
some.
Astral Esports is usually pretty consistently good. Movie Star
The
is usually
issue
not bad,
is
but
just like with CB Law, there's uh macro is just
mm,
not as great.
now
And I also feel like LLA hasn't had as deep of rosters,
no, definitely
like
not.
talent on their rosters
But I'm
as the
sure this
CB
will
Law.
open. I mean they're gonna say. I bet if we get like let's say we get Astral Esports, they move into the North Conference. It's gonna become an LCS team. Like they're gonna bring in LCS players, imports. Like
You would hope so.
it's not gonna be like I'm looking at Astral Esports right now. It's not gonna be Zothve, Jose Dioto, Cody, Snaker, Ackerman. Maybe Ackerman and Jose Dioto. But other than that,
Lizardioto did
like
play in the LCS.
yeah. But other than that, I'm like I don't see any of those other three sticking around. So we'll see how it goes. It'll be interesting. I'm excited to see what happens, but I'm also hesitant. I think it could go
I
be really great or it could be really bad.
I am more pessimistic, so
And that's
I
fair.
think that's.
That's very fair. It's a
I mean,
lot to be
I'm
pessimistic about.
probably losing my team again.
Maybe. I mean, what if they compete for that guest spot from tier 2?
Then that just
Or
sucks
what if they
still
buy
because
out the
they're a
guest spot?
tier team.
Right, but I mean they'll be in the North Conference. They just have to play the top team from the tier 2 scene each year. That's the only caveat. Well, not the worst,
Well,
but
we will have to see how it all goes.
um
So,
the other interesting thing about this new international tournament.
yes.
So
So,
that'll be, and I heard it's going
it
to be
means
fearless draft.
everybody is gonna have to be moving to 3 splits like the LEC.
Well,
Oh, technically LEC's at 4.
the other part of this, I don't know if you saw this, but they are going to try and match three splits for each region.
Yeah,
So each
yeah, yeah,
region will be in the same time frame playing their games instead of
yeah,
the different
that's what I
screens.
heard.
Yeah. So I think that'll be
Um,
good.
it'll be interesting. It's a guaranteed fearless tournament.
Yes.
Don't know exactly what kind of fearless we're doing, but
Sounds
it's going to
exciting.
be fearless, which will be exciting because I don't know if you've watched any of the LPL
I have. I
this
was going to
split,
ask you
but
about the LPL. Have you what do you think of this their placement for the summer that
the
they're doing?
placements for this split,
Yeah.
that one threw me off.
I kind of like it though.
It's interesting. It kind of reminds me of Lock-in tournament
Mhm.
last year or the year before,
Right. Yeah.
but it has a lot more
There's a lot more at
sway
stake
than the
than
Lock-in
yeah.
tournament
You
because the Lock-in tournament was nothing.
you literally it's basically decides if you're in the LPL or not for the summer,
Hmm.
which I kind of like. Like it kind of makes it exciting because then you're gonna get a lot of top tier matchups. But
True, but I think one of the downsides, the biggest downside, is if you have like it's all within like 3-4 weeks. It's all within this first month, right?
right, yeah.
And so, I mean, it is a month, and so you shouldn't be having an entire month go bad. But
Hmm.
if this meta doesn't fit you or your team,
Yeah.
you're just kind of screwed.
I mean, the way that it's playing out kind of fits how we thought it would go. I mean, you're looking at JDG, EDG are top two in their group, and then BLG, WE are top
The
two, which not surprising. Top is the one that's
top,
surprising is LNG. I thought would be better.
it doesn't surprise me. They've been hot and cold
Yeah.
all year.
The only one that's surprising me is Group D. I thought Weibo would be.
Weibo would be better, but anyone's legend has apparently been popping
They
off, which
apparently
is
they have a lot of.
surprising.
Yeah, that's very surprising. I'm not surprised about
Yeah,
ninjas because they're pretty good. They got Rookie. They got Shanji's
yeah,
pretty good top lane.
yeah. NIP is. It's been interesting. If you haven't been watching any of the series, I would actually suggest it because you get some more crazy picks, which is fun.
Yeah, I've been watching a couple. I watched shoot, who did I watch? I think it was JDG EDG. That was a really good series.
Hmm.
Was I watched a few of them. I think I watched BLG and RNG. Which RNG is just depressing.
RNG just kind of sucks
They
this year.
suck. Yeah, they just don't have a good roster. But
They don't.
anyways, yeah, it's been. I like the LPL format. I think it's interesting.
I think
Um,
it's interesting as
let's talk
well.
about. To me, I think is the more controversial uh one here is this the APAC merger, the Asia
Yes. So
Pacific League.
you want to give a rundown of
Yes.
the APAC?
So what it's doing, we're taking Vietnam VCS, the PCS, the LJL, and Oceania, the LCO, and they're gonna form one league. Now the issue that I have with it is they're basing it off of because they before they go to Worlds they do their competition to see who their world spots are going to be, right?
Yeah.
Um, and basically like they let like pretty much all the teams compete. and it's usually pretty VCS dominant. I think it's VCS. It's VCS. I'm pretty sure. Or it might be PCS.
Yes, I believe it's VCS
So
dominant
basically,
role.
what's going to happen? I think there's 10 teams that they're doing in this one, like 10 teams total, or it might be 8. But basically, what's going to happen is they're going to take the top 8 to 10 teams, and it'll probably be like one LJL team, maybe 2 PCS teams, and then 5 VCS teams, because the Oceania like never does well at their tournament.
Yeah.
So it kind of it really sucks for like Oceania and like LJL and the PCS. So basically, it's the VCS and you're adding a couple teams. So it kind of sucks for those
Yeah.
leagues. Like you're basically your league's dead. They're killing it off.
I mean, this is a better option than what they've done before.
Yeah.
Because like you go back 2-3 years ago, and they just actually killed off Oceania.
True. True.
Like
They
just
did.
100% are like, yeah, we got nothing.
Yeah. They're like, here you go,
So,
NA. Take Oceania.
so I mean, better than that.
Still sucks. Like that's unfortunate for
I
them.
mean, it sucks, but it's I think it's the same thing as the Americas League, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I could see it like that. I think it really sucks that they have um like there's going to be a lot of regions that don't have a team in that situation. But from what I understand, it is 8. Yeah. Um
Yeah.
and they said that they're more open to promotion relegation in the APAC. So I think there'll be like 2 to
Which
3
makes
spots
sense.
is what they said that will have promotion relegation. So it's a little more
Makes sense.
up and down movement. But I don't know.
I mean, it sucks for everybody
Mm.
involved, I
Hmm.
think, is what it comes down to.
Yeah, it really does. Now let's see.
So,
Do we make bets on what? I'm just kidding. What teams are gonna be?
I don't know enough for APAC to
I don't
make
know about
bets
that
on
one.
that one.
LCS we can maybe make bets on, but
For LCS, I think
you gotta
both of
keep
us are
Cloud9.
probably betting on
Gotta keep Cloud9, TL,
Cloud9 and
FlyQuest.
TL are pretty locked in.
I would say 100 Thieves is probably pretty locked in.
Yep, just from brand, 100 Thieves is
Hmm.
pretty locked in. I would say FlyQuest, but I'm not as sure on FlyQuest.
Yeah, I don't know how dedicated they are to their spot. I know they do a lot, but sometimes it feels
Yeah.
like they waver.
I mean,
I would definitely
other
say they're in
orgs
the
I thought were
top.
more dedicated, and they dropped out this last year.
Right,
So
that's what makes me kind of doubt. But um, I don't know about NRG. How
I feel like Energy's more likely to stay than not.
I agree. I think the 3 teams we kind of talked about this the other day, but probably Dignitas, Immortal, Shopify. To me,
Yeah,
are the 3 teams.
those are the ones.
Depends on how bought in Shopify is, because if they're big money, then they'll keep them.
But
And to me, Immortals is
Immortals is the most likely
yeah,
to go. So
sucks for you.
sucks for me, but I mean it sucked for me for a while because
They left before,
it's not
so
like Immortals is. Well, I mean, even ever since coming back, they haven't been good.
true.
So
Well, we can talk about them and
it's
see
not
if they're
like it's
going to be good
surprising.
this split.
Spoiler, they're not.
Spoiler. They do have an arrow. If anybody can save a team, it's an arrow.
Still suck.
Still suck.
I don't think he can do enough to save this team.
All
I
right.
don't think there's much you can do. But we'll we'll have to see how these changes all play out, I think.
Let's talk
So
about our actual good players, not important.
yes, actual good players.
Actual good players.
I
All
think we
right.
both have picks for this week for our
We
top
do.
50.
We do. Before we get into it, now that Faker is our going to be our first Hall of Legends nominee,
Yes.
what route do you think they go with the next one? To me,
What do you mean?
so I think they're probably going to go a Chinese player next. I think it's Uzi. I think
I
that's
could see
probably the
that.
next logical step since he's retired. He's
That's the big one for
Chinese.
me.
He's retired Chinese, very popular player. I think
Yeah,
that he'll
I
go
could
that
see
route.
Uzi being the next one. But I think
Now,
we've also talked about this. I really would rather they not do one at a time.
what I think that they'll do, and I think this is part of the 3 split system and 3 international events. You do one at each international event,
We get
so you get
3 a
3 a
year.
year. I know it's not a lot, but at least it's more than one a year. I think they just did with the one this time because it's Faker. He's the goat,
Baker, and it's the introduction of
right?
the hall.
But I could see them doing 3. You'd probably I could see them going like region to region, if that makes sense. Like you do Uzi for your first international event, and then maybe you go to EU and North America or something like that. I don't know what they're thinking of, but
I don't know either, but I kind of want them to do it more in classes,
I agree.
like traditional sports.
Do like the top 10, like, yeah, or do like, yeah, like 5 to 6 players a year
Yeah,
or
do like
something.
5 to 6 players a year, and like this is the class of 24.
Oh yeah, do what they should do then is do 2 at each event. You can
Yeah,
make
I
the
guess you
event
could do.
like about them, kind of thing. Be like, all right, this is the event where we make Uzi and I'm trying to think of a retired player. Uzi and Khan, they get inducted into the Hall of Legends. You know? I don't know.
Fortunately, none of this is our choice. So,
No, we're making too much sense. Anyways,
Riot Games can't do that.
no,
They can't make that much sense.
$4 apparently.
We've already discussed the ridiculousness of the Hall of Legends skin.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
So,
I don't get it.
anyway,
You want me
do
to
you
do
want to
mine
introduce
first?
your pick?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say I'll do mine first. Mr. NA himself,
Yep. Mr.
Bjergsen.
NA.
He's definitely from NA.
Hey, true.
Definitely not from Denmark. Oh, just ignore
Definitely
that.
not Danish,
No.
but I think anybody can agree that he is an NA player
Yes,
when it comes
100%.
down to it.
100%.
100%, he's an NA player.
Most
Even
people
though
don't
I think he
even
played a
remember.
game or two.
Oh, he played a while over in EU
Was it a
with
whole split?
Copenhagen.
Whole
Well,
year?
multiple splits.
Okay. Well, regardless, most people don't remember that because he's been in NA for so long, and I mean, he defined North American meta for a
Yep,
while.
100%. And he
So,
was, to be fair, he was over at EU when it was still like super early, so it's probably more like lands and those type of tournaments,
yeah.
not
Well, I
necessarily
think
like.
he was even technically in the EU LCS
I think he
when it
was
was
with
the EU
Copenhagen Wolves.
LCS.
I think, or maybe it was Ninjas in Pajamas.
Or both, because that's 2013. I want to say that's the
I
year.
think that was the year that it started.
But
Anyways, apparent.
after that,
Oh
since
yes, EU. Yep,
2014, he
he
was
was
in
in the
NA.
inaugural split of the EU LCS,
Okay, so yeah, he
and
did
the
play in the EU
first
LCS.
first 2 weeks he was too young to compete on Copenhagen Wolves.
He was young. He was 16 when he was.
Now, when he did, with the 2 weeks that he was not there, they lost every single game. And then when he was able to join once he turned 17,
They
they
continued to
continued to lose
lose.
every single game.
So,
But then they ended up winning a bunch and got finished fifth. So
all right, though.
anyways, all right, Bjergsen,
More important in his career, TSM for
super
an
successful
eternity.
domestically.
Super
Crazy.
successful. Less successful
Went to what
internationally.
10 finals in a row.
Yeah, something like that. He
Like
10
stupid
finals in a
successful.
row, and not just, oh, he was on the team that went there,
No,
like
he was the face, like carrying
he
the
was
team.
the face of TSM.
Yes.
I mean, the whole joke of it was Bjergsen and four wards is a joke for a reason.
Right.
So
There's a reason that joke exists.
there's a reason for that, and I mean, even later in his career too, like he still
I'll
would
say
pull TSM
he even
through.
won a championship coaching.
Yeah, he won a championship
Yeah,
coaching.
with Spica and
Uh, he was on a super team after that with Team Liquid. That was a failed super team, of course, because it's an NA super team.
yes, never works.
Never works. 100 Thieves, his split, I think, on 100 Thieves was a disaster. But I don't think it was his fault for either of those cases. Because even later in his career, he had pocket picks that, like, you had to ban against him, or else it would
Absolutely.
be,
Yeah.
it was a free win if he got his zillion. Now, where
Yeah,
to put him,
especially if
though?
he got the Zilla. Tell me if I'm crazy. I think
Yes,
he
you are.
goes okay. To me, I would put him above Double Lift and Reckless.
Same.
I probably would say 30.
That is
Feels right
actually
to me.
exactly where I was going.
Okay, I'm
I
not
was thinking
crazy. We're
30,
both crazy.
so we're both crazy. I mean, I think first off, the fact that we're crazy is that we have double lift and reckless on this to begin with.
Why you think that they shouldn't be on this? I'm putting them next to
I
Double Lift.
mean, you can make solid arguments for them not to be on there just off of actual best top 50 players, but I think it's important to
Well,
have
you know
a
what?
lot of different domestic
The way that I'm
leagues.
viewing our top 50 here is if we happen to be adding people to this list and we're like, you know what? Like, let's say we have somebody at 50, and then we think of a different guy, and we're like, you know what? We have all 50 spots filled, but let's bump some people
We'll
down.
bump that one.
We'll
Oh,
bump some down.
100%. I
This is a
That's what I'm
flowing
thinking too.
list. This is not in writing. This is in a PowerPoint. So
It I it is in fact in the
it's
PowerPoint.
in a
Thank you for pointing that
PowerPoint.
out. I think 30 is a good spot though.
I mean, it just feels right. Not a lot of success as far as um international performance.
Hmm.
Not that I think he was usually, if I remember correctly, maybe this is just my memory since it's been so long since he was at an international tournament. Um, he usually wasn't the problem at the international tournament.
He wasn't the main problem at
No,
international
he
tournaments,
definitely had some tournaments where he didn't perform up to the expectations.
but usually even at those tournaments, like it was the whole team not performing, like
Yep.
2020
Yep.
TSM,
Right.
the
Yep.
0-6 roster,
Yep.
the 9-man sleep.
Yeah.
If you ever, I don't know if you've rewatched that play recently, but it's so funny to watch.
So bad.
And there was I think Double Lift actually like went back and reviewed it and was like there was some reason like why I couldn't do this or whatever, and he went back reviewed it and was like, oh no, I just did nothing.
I
I was
think I've
like,
seen
come
that, and
on.
he was like, he watched it, and wasn't he like, why didn't I freaking flash
Like why didn't I flash or do
anything?
literally anything?
Yeah, he was like, that's a
I'm
freaking
like, yeah,
amazing sleep, and we did nothing.
we did nothing
We just
for it.
watched.
But yeah, that was Double Lift and Bjergsen right there. They were on that team.
Were they on that team? Really?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm pretty
Oof.
sure they were both on that roster.
Big oof.
So
Also, can we talk about? I feel bad for Bjergsen. The fact that I'm sure part of this was his choice, but the fact that he had to deal with freaking Reggie for 10 or not
oh
10 years, but 6 years plus, no more than six
yeah,
years. Like
Uh,
8 years.
he was there for forever,
It
like
was 8 years. Yeah,
9 years.
that's crazy. And didn't he come out like he's usually not one to like talk trash about ownership and
I
stuff like that?
I have tried to purge as much of the TSM drama out of my mind.
Right. I don't think
I
he.
don't
I don't
remember
think he
who
ever
talked
said
about
anything.
what.
I think he just said that it wasn't the best situation. So, anyways,
Still, Mr. NA does make it
yep,
on our list.
Mr. NA, Captain America.
Captain America. I will be honest. I think that is the highest we place any NA
Oh
player.
no,
I
yeah,
think
no.
he is
Him
the
and Double
best
Lift are
that we've had.
the top two for sure.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know if any North American player makes it into the top 50 besides those
I
two.
it would be questionable. So
Maybe Blabber by the end of his career. Maybe
Blabber potentially by the end of his
just because
career.
he's
Uh,
probably the best international, like played internationally, the best North American that's played internationally. That makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Just
It's
it's hard to
unlikely.
do that when you
It's
have Crabber as well.
true. The highs are high, the lows are very low.
Very low. But for somebody, my choice for this week
Speak to me.
has not had many lows.
No.
He is, in my opinion, the best jungler that we've ever had.
Oh.
It is Canyon.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Can't agree. One of the best.
one of the best, if not the best. I think I
Super
would put him
young
as
too.
the
Holy
best
crap.
jungler.
He's 22.
Yeah, he's really young still.
Dang. Yeah, because he joined the league when he was 18.
Yeah, he joined the league when he was 18 on the
Or
on
no, I think it was
Damwon.
17. I think he was 17.
Um, and then I think either the second or the third year with Damwon they won.
Yes, I think it was the 2020. So that was he joined in 2018 at the end of
He
2018.
joined in 2018.
So
So second year with Damwon they
yeah.
won. First year with Damwon they got to Worlds, which was insane.
Yep.
And then second year they won Worlds.
They also
Third year
won.
they
Sorry,
did they win MSI?
he did this year. That was his first MSI.
Okay, yeah. So
Yep.
this year was his first
Yep.
MSI with Gen G. But uh
But he
I
was
mean,
so he was the MVP in 2020, and he was the MVP. Like he
oh yeah,
killed that tournament.
he was insane. Like it he was nuts. Even on other teams that like the teams were under okay, teams. The team was underperforming
Mm-hmm.
because the only underperforming team he's had is Damwon.
And,
But like if you go back to 2022 Worlds, Damwon was underperforming, I would say. Like they weren't up to the level of other Korean teams at that tournament, but like Canyon was still hard carrying them through a lot.
yeah. I
So
was gonna say he in 20 what is it 2022 spring says he won 1600 player of the game points, which I don't
yeah,
know if you know the LCK point system, but
it's insane.
that's freaking nuts. And the second highest was 1400 player of the game points, set by
Yeah.
Someday actually in 2016 somewhere.
So yeah, so
Yeah,
he
like
is
he was hard carrying them.
disgustingly insane. He was
Yeah,
hard carrying the team. And like yeah, the team was still it was him, Showmaker. Um,
he's had great teammates. Don't get me wrong.
he's had great teammates, but like even when the team his great teammates are playing like garbage, like Showmaker has done quite a
Yeah,
bit in the last couple of years, he's still Canyon's been very consistent.
yeah.
So Fantastic player.
He's done really, really well. And he's got the hardware on both domestically and internationally.
Yep.
Now, still super young, so that kind of worries me as far as placing him.
Yeah, I mean it is difficult, but we have placed young players before, like Knight and Chovy,
True, we have.
because I think both of those are actually younger than Canyon.
I think Knight might be the same age. They came up about the same time, but where are you putting him? What are you thinking?
That's where it gets hard. Because I was thinking like 10 to 12
I was
zone.
thinking 10, but
Okay.
I'm looking at it and I'm like, do I think Canyon's better than Knight?
That's what's hurting me because I was like, yeah, actually, I think
Yeah,
Canyon
I think Canyon might be number
might be
9.
better than Knight or even Uzi.
I don't know about Uzi yet. I think Uzi's got enough pedigree to keep his spot.
I think that's
Maybe
fair.
in like 2 to 3 years, yeah, for sure. In 2 to 3 years, I might put him above Chovy if he keeps winning. But then if he also keeps winning, that means Chovy's winning.
Kobe's
So
winning, at
then,
least right now.
yeah, at least right now.
So
So
there is
then,
that.
yeah, so then you have to move him up with Chovy. But um,
I think
hmm,
I could see 9
I could see 9. Let's do 9. Should we
and bump
bump
Knight
Knight to
down.
10? Yeah. Sorry, Knight. See, this list is fluid. We said it would be fluid.
List is fluid.
It's in
You
a
can go over
PowerPoint.
Shaq Knight. Still a fantastic player.
We'll put. Why did my. I just blanked on his name for a second there. I almost typed Chovy
Uh,
and I was like, what?
it's like Chovy gets 2 spots in the top 10.
Yep.
But yeah,
Where'd you move Knight to?
thankfully we do
Shaq?
have a
Oh, okay.
fluid list. Yeah, I put him on Shaq.
Nice. Yes, we do have a fluid list.
Now there's one spot I think will never change.
Faker.
Number 1.
Yeah. No.
I don't think you can take away that. So
I'm moving this back. Wait. Move this forward, I guess.
make it not
There you go.
better.
It was bothering me. His shirt was like cutting off their faces.
Fair enough.
All right. Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
There we go. Updated the
We've,
list.
we've got quite a list going so far.
Yeah,
Or
we are 45 minutes in. We're going. That America's really threw us for a loop.
it. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. It's
No,
pretty
it's
big
pretty.
news.
Yeah.
The mergers for the Americas and APAC. All right. So
This one is.
champion number 2 in the list is Ari.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this one is a hard one because I keep going back to one person.
I mean, you got to put Faker at number 1. He's got the skin.
Yeah.
He got the skin.
He's got the skin. It's one of his
He literally
iconic
has a $500
champions.
skin.
Yeah, he has a $500 skin for it. It is probably, I think, actually, I think he has stated that it is his favorite champion.
Yes, I believe
So
so. Uh, okay, let me see here. Pulled up. Wait, what? Oh, this is for this year. Okay. I'm looking. I pulled up LOL Esports, and you can. I don't know if you knew this, but you could click champion and see how many games and their
how
win
many
rate
games
people
are?
have on there. We might have to put Knight up there. He was 20-1 last year on
It's
Ari. I
just
forgot about
what I
Knight's
was
Ari.
just what I was about to say. Knight is also one that is known for his RA, really good on it. So, I mean, I think we'll. There's other people we can discuss, but I think the 2 people I would put on here are Faker and Knight.
Yeah.
So,
I might put Xiaohu His R is pretty good.
Yeah, his
I just
RE is
don't know if
pretty
he's
good,
played
but
enough of it.
when I think of Xiaohu, I think of other stuff too.
I agree. That's why I was like, maybe not.
Um, from the LEC, I actually think of VTO with RE.
VTO's R is really good. Yeah, Gao's R is not bad.
Yao's RE is also really good. That is one you could
Cream's
put.
pretty good with RE, but I don't. Cream to me is not like a top tier player.
Not yet.
I'd put
He's
Chovy on
got
the
more
list too.
proof.
Chovy's just good on 99% of champs.
Trophy's good on 99% of champions. That is true. But at the same time, when I'm thinking of Chovy, I'm thinking more like Victor or
Yeah,
Silas or
yeah.
Azir.
This is kind
So,
of disgusting. So we might need to. Maybe we'll give it another year here. But I'm looking at overall how many games have been played by each player on RE. So Faker's
uh-huh.
played 60 total in his career.
Okay.
66.7% win rate. Really good. 3.65 or 4.44 KDA. Like pretty
Dang.
good, pretty good, pretty good.
Pretty good there.
Knight has played 57 games of RE. 86% win rate. 11.36 KDA.
Okay, yeah, Knight has to go first.
I feel so bad doing. Faker's got the freaking skin. Do we do this to Faker?
I think we have to. I think
Oh
Knight's
my
Ari
gosh.
is better than Faker's.
Like, that's disgusting. Holy crap. He averages
He's really good at
one
it.
death, 1.12 deaths a game on Ari. Like, that's
He's really
disgusting.
good at it.
Like, and a 75% kill participation. Like, what the
Yeah,
freak?
he's
Like, he's
really
not, like, playing
good.
passively if you're getting 75% kill participation. Like, that's
He's
disgusting.
that. If you're getting 75% kill KP, you're roaming. You're getting into every fight. You're
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry,
Now,
Faker. I think Knight does have to go first here.
I feel so bad doing that, but yeah. Now we might need to put you remember Karis? He's with OK Brion.
I do not.
We might need to put
Does
him
he have
on
a
the
hundred
list.
percent win rate?
11%, 2 and 16, baby.
Get out of here.
Or we could put Blue. You remember Blue?
I do remember Blue.
Blue is 0 and
How bad?
6.
What league?
I mean, he was with who was he
Oh,
on?
oh, that's his all time.
Yeah, that's his all time.
Okay, okay.
I don't know
I thought that would be like
who
his
he played
stats
him on.
for this
No,
year.
that's all time. No, these are all time.
Yeah, we don't need to bring up Blue.
No, no. Well, we'll keep him out of it. I just thought that was funny. Yeah, no. Knight has by far the highest win rate, more than uh 10 games is kind of what I was looking at. They played at least 10
Yeah.
games. Now, one that might surprise you is so you have Knight number one. Chovy is actually
hmm
number three in win rate on Ari. Who's number two? I'll tell you, they
Um,
were LCK and LCS player. Were they LEC? They may have been LEC too.
Brown,
No, is from a very famous clip. They did play in the LEC.
Ryu.
Ryu. Ryu,
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
right? I remember his Ari was pretty good. And it was kind of like his pocket pick for a while when it was unpopular.
Yeah,
So I remember him pulling it out in the LCS a couple times when it was not in meta at all. But
yeah.
no, he's the second highest win rate with more than 10 games, and then Chovy, and then we got Rookie actually. and then
Okay, yeah.
Xpeke, and then Faker. So I'm not putting any of those guys
So
on the list. I think it's Knight and Faker.
yeah, I think it comes down to just Knight and Faker still, but
Do we put it in a EU person though? I think we put Ryu if it's in a EU, right?
I mean if we're doing NA
Because we did that with
EU, I
Someday.
think we do put Ryu.
We did that with
That's how you
Someday,
spell his
even
name,
though
right?
yeah, we did that with Someday.
Sorry.
You know, we gave Someday a spot, even though
Even
Someday
though it's
deserve it over half of the LCK top laners. No, for
no,
Aatrox, but
probably not.
we give some love to the minor regions.
Ooh,
Minor region love.
minor region love. The Americans,
The Americas.
America's
America's
region.
region.
The America's
Plus,
region.
Someday just retired, so
He did just retire, so he does
deserves a little appreciation for his time.
a little bit of love. I mean, he had a
One of my favorite players to
great
watch.
run
Oh my gosh,
in
he's so fun
America.
to watch.
So,
I liked how quiet he was too. That was always entertaining. I don't know if you watched many of their heist series that 100 Thieves did.
I did not, because a lot of their heist stuff was coming out when I wasn't paying
Oh, that's
attention.
right.
So,
Yeah, no, he like didn't say anything ever.
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like a loud person. So,
No, he's super quiet. All right,
what you
uh,
want in a top laner?
let's get into some LECs since they already started.
Yeah, since they've got 1 week under their belts already.
The spicy standings here.
I mean, it's 1 week in, so
It's one weekend. That's fair. I think there are some points that we can take away.
mhm.
Fnatic has looked really good to me.
Yeah, Fnatic looks really
They
good.
they look like the team to beat right now.
G2,
It's
yeah,
it's
I think
it's
Fnatic is best team.
it's G2 regular season. Like they're gonna win it all.
It's
Don't
G2
worry, they're
regular
gonna win it
season,
all.
and they're still coming off of MSI, I think.
Right? Yeah, they are. So I'm
So
like,
they're tired probably.
they're gonna win it all. Don't if you're a G2 fan, don't worry. It's not gonna change anything. Um, SK has I've been impressed with their bot lane.
Dude, okay,
Their bot lane's not bad.
like
Or
I don't think we were very high on Rahel and Luon coming into
no,
this
I
split.
think we viewed it more as a side grade.
Yeah, but I think it's been a very clear upgrade, just
Hmm
at least in this first week, and
they
I hope that continues.
seem to fit better with the top half of the map.
Yeah,
So, and they're
I
actually
think so.
playing to the bot lane a lot of their games, which is
And
surprising.
I think that opens up a lot of things for SK,
Yes,
being able
absolutely.
to play for bot lane.
Yep.
So I think SK has been second best performing team so far. We'll
Yeah,
have to see how
yeah.
that continues.
BDS got gifted 2 games, so I can agree with that.
Yeah, BDS got gifted 2 games. Carmine got gifted,
Oh
I think,
my
2 games.
gosh, 3 games. They fumbled
They
the other one.
fumbled one of them still.
They're so bad.
Uh,
Kana looks terrible. I'm sorry.
Kana
Targamas is
for
okay.
Targamas is still a joke.
Did you see upsets freaking out?
No, I did
He's
not
getting
see.
mad at the casters for calling out players.
Ah,
And I was like, bro, you can't be defending your boy like that. I'm sorry. Like
he hasn't
we
looked good.
me me and you wanted Targamas. We talked about this. How we thought Targamas would, if Targamas can get back to G2 Targamas, he would
He
be
would be
really
really good,
good. He
but
has
he has not been G2
sucked
Targamas. He's
so bad.
I forget which game it is, but like he's getting caught out bot lane pretty
Yes,
early
yes,
on.
on the
Like there's
Alistar
no
where he's
reason for
standing
him
in the
to be
tower,
there. Yeah,
and he like
like
pops ulti, stands in front of the tower to try and get the XP to level up. Or no,
yeah.
he was level 5. He was level 5. He's trying to get level 6. But he just like standing there trying to get the XP. I'm like, the freak are you
There's just
doing? And it was that same
there's just I
game.
don't know.
That same game. Who was that? Mad Lions. They were playing. It was Mad Lions. It was Mad Lions game. He punted
He punted
Merwin into upset.
Elyoya.
Or, no, it was Merwin. I think it was Merwin. Pretty sure it was Merwin. I might be wrong, but I thought it was Merwin. But
Which one? What part are we talking about?
I can't remember when it was, but
I could have sworn it was
there was like a
Targamas that punted Elyoya over a wall, which let Elyoya get into the Rift Herald, or was that the G2 game?
no, that was one of the plays where he punted Eloia over the wall and Eloia got into Rift Herald. There was another play where they were kind of engaging on him and Merwin was onto the team and
Hmm.
Targamas flashed punted Merwin towards Upset who was right next to a wall.
Oh, and so yeah, then
So
Upset
Merwin
got
just abducted him over the
kidnapped.
wall and killed him.
Yeah, it's like
Like, what are you doing, dude?
if we took all of these plays from a top support, like from a Korean support,
Mm-hmm.
if like Lahin's, not a Korean support, but like if we took
Like a
those
top
plays,
support in an LCK or LPL team.
if we put their name on these plays, you would think they were intentionally doing all of this. They were intentionally feeding and trying to lose the game. That's what
Right.
it looks like.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. But I think he's just bad. I think
I've
he's
just
just
been
bad.
disappointed. So
For sure. Yeah. I don't
now
know.
I'm not as upset about upset getting upset.
No, I understand he's trying to come out protect his guys.
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean that's
it's
what you want in teammates.
but I also
Like
think it's
you
fair for
want
the
some unity.
casters to be able to criticize a
Oh,
player when they're playing
100%.
poorly. Like that's
I
kind
I
of part of why they're there.
I think they should be doing that to a reasonable extent,
Right. If
obviously.
it becomes like malicious or
Yeah, it shouldn't
unnecessary.
shouldn't be malicious or excessive,
Yeah.
but criticizing their
But
plays
saying
is,
like that was a crappy play, you shouldn't punt. Like that's understandable to me.
I mean, there's one call I remember back in 2022.
Hmm.
I think it was like quarterfinals or semifinals where Freak was casting on Barrel,
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
and he just straight up says Barrel is feeding, which was true.
Yeah.
And like that's Barrel. He won the tournament. Was he feeding that game? 100%. He was running it. But
Yeah.
that is how Barrel plays.
That is,
Oh,
I was gonna say Barrel kind of runs it constantly. So
yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Overall, I'm
so
not surprised about the one I am surprised about is Vitality. I thought Vitality would look a lot better.
I, if you go and watch the Vitality games, like they do look better,
They're so
and then they
rough.
don't. They just
It's
throw it all
so
away
yeah.
every single time.
But I thought they
And
would
it's
come out
so
and
dumb.
be stomping people and be ending games at like 20 minutes. But if we're gonna
They
talk
have no
about
idea.
feeders, Helisang is the definition of feeder. Like holy
Hill is saying,
crap,
holy cow, he's feeding.
he will literally like flash into the enemy base to clear out a ward and then die for it. It's like, what in the world are you doing, dude? There's your team is on the other side of the map. Why are you clearing out this
Why are you
ward?
there?
Why? Like he'll walk past like three wards with the sweeper on to get the last ward and then die. And it's like, bro, stop. What are you doing?
That is Hill
That's
saying.
Hillsang. Like,
100% that's Hill saying.
I'm not excusing it, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's how he plays the game.
Yeah.
There was a what game was it? There was one game. I think it was the Rogue game that they won. Let me pull up the see who was what champs were in that game. Yes, it was that game. Because it was the Linkus, I think is his name. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah,
His
I think
Talia
it's
game
Linkus.
where he flashed into the Ashe ult like I think it was like two times. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes, yes,
It
yes,
was
yes. I do remember that.
I felt so bad because like he thought he was gonna get hit, and then he ended up flashing into it. And I
flashing
was like,
into it. And
oh, I was like, bro,
see,
you would have
that
been
feels
fine.
like
That's just like
rookie jitters. That feels
right,
like rookie jitters kind of thing. So
100%. I was like, oh, this is rookie jitters. But yeah, no, they should have won that game too. That was bad.
they,
When
I
Karzy
think
stole the
they
Baron
should have won all
Ziggs.
3 of their games.
That
I'm
was the
pretty
one.
sure every single game they were in a winning position, should have won the game, should have closed it out, and then they just
Just
didn't.
absolutely threw it.
They just threw it away for
Yeah.
stupid reasons.
I think they'll be
But
fine. I think Mac is a good coach. Like he'll be able to get them back
yeah,
into it. I think they're gonna be one of those
I'm
teams
not
that
worried about them.
could easily see them and Rogue flipping places here, or Mad Lions.
I think
I think a top five, top six.
I I think, or at least right now, the bottom looking teams is Mad Rogue and Giants.
Yes,
Sorry, Giant X.
not Giants
I
X.
Not Giants. Giant X has been
Not
just
Giants X either. Just
yeah, it's Giant X.
don't say that fast.
Ah, yes, classic Giant X. But
Mm.
Giant X just hasn't looked great.
They haven't looked bad though. I wanna. There's things I wanna like. I I think Jackie's is good.
I think Jackie's is good too.
His Varus
I
game was
haven't been
kind of
impressed with
disgusting.
Antonio.
Nah, his Varus game against Fnatic was kind of nasty.
Oh yeah, no, his
He almost won that game for them,
he almost won that
and
game for them, and it's a game that they should never
their
win.
comp
The comp suck.
sucked. That was so bad.
It was-
It was absolutely
They
terrible.
they trolled so hard in draft, and if they hadn't, I think they win that game.
Yeah. Yeah, they needed AP somewhere. I didn't understand the Varus pick. I mean, he looked really good on it, but it was just a bad draft. Like, ugh,
Yeah, it
it's
was a bad
gross.
draft. Rogue, I have no idea what they're doing, and I don't think
I
they have an
I was
idea
gonna
of
say
what
I
they're
don't think
doing.
Rogue knows what they're doing.
Like,
To be fair, I also don't think K Core knows what they're doing.
I also don't think K Core knows what they're doing, but they won too, so they're
I think K Core
a
just
little better.
accidentally stumbled on 2 wins somehow.
Well, okay, one of those wins was against Rogue.
Also, I just realized that Closer has played Rek'Sai 3 games. Oh no, he didn't play. He didn't play Rek'Sai the third game. That's my bad. Marcoon played it against him.
Yeah,
So, but
yeah.
yeah, that's to me that's interesting
I
because
K Core did walk into 2 wins because they won against Mad and Rogue.
true, true. Which
So
Mad, oh my gosh, that game was
that
so
game is
bad.
one of the worst
That game's
games I've seen.
hilarious. That game is so funny. Just if
It's
that doesn't show you the besides G2 and maybe Fnatic where the state of the LEC is right now, it's in a rough spot. And
yeah,
I think the talent's
it's
good. Like you look at these teams and I'm like a lot of these players I'm like like Alvaro's really good.
yeah.
Elioya's really
Alvaro's good.
good. Merwin's interesting to watch at least.
He's
Supa, it's
entertaining.
hot cold, but like Closer is I like Closer maybe because I'm biased from 100 Thieves. I like
Uh,
Kana.
I for as high priority as the acquisition was for Kana, I've been disappointed.
Oh
But I
no,
agree.
for
I
sure.
think he's
He's been terrible
like,
compared to what they should get from him.
yeah. No, LEC besides their top 2 teams, maybe 3 teams,
But even
because you could
their
potentially throw
second
BDS in
team,
there.
Fnatic, got rolled by Team Liquid.
That's
I
because
wouldn't say rolled. I wouldn't say rolled. It was closer than the
uh,
score line was.
it closer than the score line was, but they also just looked like garbage
They did. Yeah.
uh that series.
I didn't think after that first game I was like, oh yeah, TL's winning this easy. Like,
Yeah, they did not play well.
no, they did not. I don't think either team played very well, to be honest. That series, but now TL played really good against T1 for whatever reason.
For
Uh,
whatever reason. This is the second year in a row that TL just for whatever reason plays really well against T1.
yes.
Because last year at Worlds,
Just
they
T1.
almost won that game.
They get freaking dog
Just
walked. Was it
T1
BLG they got dog walked by? What?
by
What was the Chinese team that absolutely walked them the first round?
who?
Didn't was it Top? Was it Top? Who did they play in the first round? Yeah, it
For
was
which
Top.
tournament?
TL and MSI.
Oh
They
yeah,
got
at MSI,
walked
yeah,
by
though they
Top.
got
Destroyed
destroyed
by
by
Top.
Top.
Which to be fair, Top took Genji to 5
Oh,
games.
Top played
They
very
played
well.
really well.
And to cut some slack for FlyQuest, who played even worse.
until Top got to G2 and they looked like dog.
Yeah, I don't know what happened in that
I
one.
don't know what happened. That one was not even close. I was like, how is G2 doing this to Top? That's when I thought G2. I was like, oh, T1's might be in trouble. And then T1 walked G2. It was closer than what a scoreline was, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, pretty
Anyways,
happy with TL's performance, and I really think
yeah, I
that
was happy with TL's performance there. And
if in the perfect world for me at least, I think you have. Hear me out on this. All right, this might sound crazy, controversial.
this is gonna be a bad idea.
Oh, for sure. I think you have your you bump it up to 10 teams in the LCS. You can do your promotion relegation for the bottom two teams. You have your LCS, your LEC. You take top 4 from each team. You seed them. So 1 from LEC plays 4 from
Battle of the
LCS.
Atlantic.
Battle of the Atlantic.
Bring it
Top
back.
top 4 go to Worlds. I
That's
think
just taking away
I
our
think
world spots.
to be honest, I think it would go 2-2. To be honest. I think
That's actually fair.
I think G2 wins, but I could easily we get 2 teams, second and third, and then like Fnatic or BDS get the 4 spot. I really
Actually, I think that's
I really think our top teams are probably like if we were to tier our system right now, like if we were to take all the teams and put in one tier list, I think G2 is S tier. I'd probably
ours
put
are A and
TLC9 A
then B.
tier, and then B tier would probably be like BDS, Fnatic, FlyQuest. In that
I
order.
actually
In that order.
see. Sounds crazy. Kind of is crazy. But every time we go to an international tournament, it does end up kind of like that.
Right. That's why I'm like I really think that like to me G2 clear like they're competing to make a
They're
semifinal
competing
or
with
final
East.
at Worlds.
They compete with East teams.
They're the West super team. That's what they are.
Yeah.
And that's fine. They have Caps. They have Hansama. They have Mickey. They have no, EU's savior, Dylan Falco. Like
Hey, that's NA talent right
the
there.
savior of EU. That's North America born and raised.
Hey, best Western team. Probably, actually, no, I will say best Western coach.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. That's not
100%.
that's not even a question. You know what? We might need to start a Hall of Legends for coaches.
Hey, just looking at it even more like, um, his first position as a head coach, Immortals, 2016.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that team was pretty
And
nuts.
then he was on Fnatic halfway through 2017 to the end of 2018, the Caps years.
mm-hmm.
And then he was on Schalke for a couple of years. That one less impressive. But now he's been on G2 since the end of 2021, where they have been dominant ever since then. Like,
Yeah. Who would be your top 5 Western coaches of all time? I mean,
okay,
Del
so
Falco number 1.
Dylan Falco number 1.
I'd probably put Reaper number 2,
Yeah, I think Reaper number 2, just because.
then probably Parth.
Um,
I don't know if it was much Parth
I
as it was the players, but
I feel like Parth has had solid teams almost every time,
yeah,
though.
maybe Tony
I mean,
Zix, was that his name? The CLG coach.
yeah, the CLG coach, I think it is, at least it used to be Zix.
He was pretty. Also, apparently, he's like a super good Valorant coach now.
Hey, good on him. A little growing
I know.
league over
I'm
there.
like, okay,
Riot cares much more about them. Spawn. I think Spawn is
Spawn's pretty good.
another one that I would put on there. Technically, he's Australian, but
Yeah, he got first at the Valorant Champions 2023.
hey, dang,
Like, dang, that's
fair
pretty
enough.
nuts. Yeah, pretty impressive. Okay, like, dang, that's a good coach if you can win in 2 different sports.
Yeah, that is. I mean, they are both esports and similar in many ways, but
Would you
still.
put? I might put Mac up there to be honest with what he did with Mad Lions.
Yeah, what he did with Mad Lions, and even now with the rosters he's building, like the rosters are good.
Yeah, yeah. He's a good like he could take unfound talent and make it work.
Yeah.
He's very good at that.
I mean, Yamato Cannon is
Yeah,
another one that I think is a really good coach. His time with Fnatic
yeah.
and Vitality.
I could see an argument against it just because.
Oh, I mean, like this year, his split with K-Core was bad, like
Mm.
really bad.
What about? Maybe this is just high praise, but in Narrow, he's been really good for a long time. Like what he did with Golden Guardians and the trash talent they had for so long.
Yeah, I think Inero's
And then
up there.
he
I don't
took
know if I put him top
disguised.
5,
He took
but
disguised last year or in the spring split, and they did really good in the NACL. I don't know. That one's hard just because I don't know. I feel like if you're not winning at the highest level,
it's
yeah, it's tough.
it's
Like
tough to say,
it's tough to
and
put you in that conversation.
it's always tough to really know how much control coaches have
True.
in
True.
their organizations or whatever, because like I know there's been times, at least I feel like, where the coach doesn't want such and such player, but the organization or general manager is set on that player, and
Right.
so they really
That's kind of why I picked the
can't do
coaches I did
anything.
because I feel like Dylan Falco's probably got a pretty large voice
Yeah,
just based
I
on his
think he would have a
pedigree.
large voice.
I would say Mac has a very large voice.
I mean, Mac left Mad Lions because
Because they picked between him and
they had to pick between
Elioya.
him and El Yoya.
Yeah.
So,
And I know for sure Reaper has a very loud voice. You saw that when he
yep.
freaking benched half of a world's qualifying
Uh,
team.
yeah, that he benched half of a world's qualifying team. Like that's not
Like
something.
two of the some of the best players in NA at the time, Sneaky and Jensen.
Mhm.
Like that was pretty wild.
It's a very bold move, and I mean, it worked out for them fantastically that year. So
Well, didn't. And then
it worked out overall
it worked
because
out
them
overall.
getting benched made them work harder and
What split
better
was that?
to
2018?
get back into their slot. Yeah,
Was it 2018?
I'm pretty sure it was
Summer. It
2018,
was
and that's the
summer.
year
Yep.
they got to
Summer.
semifinals.
Yep.
So
Yeah, because they
worked
benched.
out really well for them.
They brought in Golden Glue, Keith, and Zazel to. That's who they subbed in for Jensen, Sneaky, and who was it?
Smoothie, right?
Smoothie. I think it was Smoothie. And then they ended up keeping Zazel.
They ended up keeping Zazel and brought
And that
back
was
Jensen
when
and
they brought in
Sneaky.
Blabber too.
Yeah, so it was the 6-man roster.
Yeah, because they had Blabber and Svenskeren. They were going back and forth.
Or actually, it was 7-man roster because they actually
7.
did swap in Golden Glue.
That's true, they did. Yep, and 3-0'd a Freak of
3-0 to Freak of
Freaks.
Freaks that year.
And then got 3-0'd by Fnatic.
Yep.
Let's go.
To be fair, I mean, Fnatic, like we were saying, Fnatic was top. They were
Yep.
number 1.
Yep.
And then it was us. And
Yep.
it was NA.
Yep.
So.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
All right. Well, I think
that's
we're
it.
close to wrapping up here. I mean, we got good games coming up this weekend. It's week 2 for LEC, week 1 for LCS.
Yeah.
It's
Anything you're
best of
excited for?
threes. Best of threes for LCS. So
Yes. We didn't. I don't think we talked about that. Yeah. Best of threes are back.
yeah,
Single round
best
robin,
of
which
threes, single round robin.
that sucks, but hey, we'll take it. It's a step in the right direction, like we said.
Yeah, step in the right direction. So
I'm excited for that C9 dig game.
yeah, I think the C9 dig game will be good. I think the 100 Thieves Energy game will
That'll also be good.
be
Also,
good.
Energy changed their logo? Question mark? Wasn't it black?
Looks like
And
they're Energy
different?
Kia now.
Oh, okay.
Am I right? That's Kia
Alright.
down there, right?
Yeah, that is Kia. Hey, we'll be DuoQueue Kia if Kia listens to this, which they
Hey,
definitely won't.
they definitely won't, but if they wanted to sponsor,
We'll be DuoQueue anybody if you want to sponsor. The low price of $5 a month.
honestly.
We'll take a spot. We just
Yeah.
need upgraded gear. That's what we need. Anyways, anything on the
Other than
LEC
that,
side? Oh, we only have 2 of the days on there.
yeah, it's only 2, I'm pretty sure, this week.
Wait, what? It should be 3, shouldn't it? Isn't it always 3 days?
Oh, yeah, it is
Wait,
3 days. Sorry.
but on here it only has 2.
Yeah, it's only showing that, but it should also have a Monday. Yeah, that's really weird. It's always Saturday, Sunday, Monday, so
Yeah,
it's
that's
only
why I was
showing
like,
2 days.
oh
It's
no,
not my
no,
fault.
they're doing 4 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I guess since I think since it's
Oh,
summer,
because
they
of
have
the
more time, and so they split it out.
yeah, one because of the uh Saudi Arabia thing, the
Yep,
World
there
Cup,
you go.
the World Cup.
The
They
World Cup
gotta
thing.
yeah, they gotta pause it. I think they're pausing right after the
I think they pause
week
after the
4.
summer split, and then
Oh, I want to say it's before, if I remember right.
I mean, going off of this, they're all 1 week apart, so.
Well, I think they're pausing after the regular season, quote
Oh,
unquote,
yeah, I think you're right.
before they
Sorry,
get
that's what
into
I
their
meant.
before bracket play.
Before
Yeah,
playoffs.
yeah. So.
But yeah, I don't see any really exciting matches except for maybe Heretics K-Core.
Oh gosh. Um,
If K-Core can squeeze another
maybe
win.
hopefully G2 can go 2-0
I
against
mean, they better be going 2-0,
against
considering who they're playing.
Giants X and Rogue.
Rogue.
Yeah. I hope.
Uh, if they're not going 2-0, then that's concerning.
And then G2 is running summer. And then gonna
I
turn it
mean,
on
they
for
don't care
playoffs.
because
Yeah. They're gonna
I'm
just
pretty
turn
sure
it.
they're like guaranteed to get into Worlds
They
at this
at
point.
least they should at least get into the championship.
Yeah, they're guaranteed for the championship for LEC, but I think
Uh
they might almost be guaranteed for Worlds as well.
I think so. I think they'd have to win one series to be guaranteed. But if they make playoffs, then they're pretty much guaranteed off points, I believe.
Yeah.
Because
So
points is stupid. Points is how we got a really crappy 100 Thieves team at Worlds. I don't know
points
if
is
you
how you
remember
also
that.
got a really bad
Who was
Mad
the
Lions team.
who was that 100 Thieves roster? It was shoot, what
Was that
Worlds
the
was
Cody
that?
Sun one?
Yeah, he got benched.
So probably
Was it
Ryu.
2022? Yes, it was. Where's the rosters? How do I look at the rosters? If I click the main event.
Oh, was that the Ryoma
Yes.
one?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Wait, was this the Abadage? No, this was not the right one. It might have been the year before. May have been 2021. 2021.
FBI closer DeMonte.
Maybe not 2020. I can't remember. Anyways, was he it wasn't Ryoma. It was shoot, what was it? I can't remember. Was it MSI? Or no, was it Rift Rivals?
Might have been Rift Rivals.
I can't remember if it was MSI. Anyways, it was the like absolutely terrible roster. I can't remember who it was. Dang it. Anyways, now this is
Anyways,
gonna bother me. It may have been 2019 Rift Rivals. No, it wasn't.
anywho's terrible rosters make it through off of points, as we've seen
Yes.
multiple times.
Oh, 2019 wasn't it, but 2019 also had a terrible roster based off points, and that was Clutch Gaming.
Ah, yes, Clutch Gaming making out of.
Yeah, going 0-6 with Huni, Lyra, Demonte, Cody, Sun, Vulcan. That team was
That was
terrible.
they made it into there.
Hey, yeah, they went
They
0-6,
worked
baby.
hard for that.
To be fair, they had a really hard group. They had SKT,
They
Fnatic, RNG. like
they did have
you,
a really hard group, and they did show up in play-ins as well.
they
So
did,
they
they
did
did.
hit
They went and ruled
play-ins, and they looked
plans.
well
Yeah,
in play-ins.
yeah.
They looked good.
But yeah, no, that was terrible.
Alrighty
That's
though.
right. That was
It
we
was
didn't get anybody
forever.
into the bracket stage in that year.
Yeah, it doesn't
That was a
surprise
bad
me.
year, and that was when EU got all three of their teams because that was the Splice Jizuke where he was popping off. To be fair, freaking easiest group in the world. They had FPX, Splice, J Team, and GAM. Like,
J Team Gan, yeah.
yeah, come on. Like, even
That's
NA
easy to
would
cover.
fumble that, but we'd be close to getting out of that group.
Depressing.
True. True, true.
Alrighty though.
Yep,
I
that was
think
the
that'll wrap it
FPX
up for
3-0 though.
us.
Yep, that's it.
Anything else you wanna
Um,
any wisdom you wanna impart before
um, watch BO3s while you can.
watch the LCS before it goes?
Yeah, before it
Last
implodes.
split.
Yeah. R.I.P. Thanks for nothing.
Yep. Thanks for disappointment.
As usual, let me down one more time. Good news though, I could see them. Good news for us since we live in Texas. This is a random tangent to close this out. If we are having an LLA team in the league and a tier 2 team, and we're playing cross matches with CB LoL, would make sense for them to move studio to Texas.
You could make an argument.
It's a
You
central
would make a
time
more solid
zone.
argument
It's
to
cheaper than California. Players would be happier because it's cheaper to live here. Just saying.
I doubt they would ever do that.
I doubt they would do it, but Austin would be a pretty cool place to have a studio and play games. And I honestly think they would probably get more fans
Potentially.
being in a central time zone and in a. But I'm, who knows? Anyways, all right, that's it for us. Sorry, random tangent at the. Bye.